welcome to episode 6 of Swellosophy by Pipeline TV. We're here at Jimmy Hula's in Port Orange with up-and-coming female surfer Zoe Benedetto. Thanks for joining us, Zoe.
Thank you for having me.
So Zoe, how's it feel to be a female in a more male-dominated sport and growing up in that atmosphere?
It's definitely a challenge, but I love it. It's definitely a little harder, for sure. Definitely having more competition, strong competition is definitely a lot more fun, and just being around different types of surfing is a lot more fun. And being a girl in definitely a male-dominated sport pushes you to try a little harder. Even on regular free surfs, it's definitely a little harder, but I mean, I love good competition, so.
You're doing great, and I think the biggest, most notable thing right now is, you're representing Team USA, and how's that feel? That's huge.
I love it. It's definitely been a huge dream of mine, so to actually be able to do it and be successful doing it is really, really shocking to me and a dream come true. But just the whole atmosphere with Team USA is one of the best team atmospheres I've ever seen and heard of. So it's definitely really fun just to be around and with the group and stuff. But there's so many good surfers and everyone, so it definitely not only is fun for me, but it's healthy competition and pushes me to be a better surfer.
Getting to be on Team USA has to just feel amazing, and then everything kind of got put on pause. And what have you done to make sure you're still ready and still on point as far as that goes? Just
my mental state, for sure. Just keep me in check. It's nice to have a break, but you also don't want to have too long of a break because you can get out of the groove and stuff like that. So I had my break, but I'm back in my mojo. I'm back in my routine. Definitely just relaxing and focusing on what's important to me is huge. So working out with my trainer is definitely a huge thing, 2 or 3 times a week. But just hanging out with family has definitely, seeing what my morals are and what are my priorities, since I have so much downtime to think about it, has definitely been a huge thing, what I want and what is important to me. So that's definitely kept me in check mentally and physically. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And speaking to your training and the way you surf, being a female surfer, there's very few girls that I see surf with so much power as you. And so, what do you attribute that to in your charging mentality?
Definitely my trainer. We have a really good connection. Physically, that's definitely where my power comes from. Genetics too. My mom's a super strong woman, so that mentally too, for just sizes and pushing myself. Definitely my mom from when I was little. My brother, my older brother, and Shay, my coach and shaper. So.
Working with the kids here, started with my kids, and then it quickly moved to Zoe, who's one of my daughter's best friends in the same age, and they were surfing together and learning together, and so same thing I did with my daughter, I did for Zoe, and she's just ran with it. She loves surfing so much and loves competing. She's a beast in the heat. She's a beast out in the water free surfing. She gets waves from the guys. She gets waves from older competitors all the time, and she deserves them. And she's a national champion at 13 years old, and the future is what she makes of it.
Just going out on even small days and trying new things, going out on big days and just pushing myself to things that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, but trying to get comfortable with. So that's definitely important for me, just so I can push myself and try new things that I don't want to be stuck in the same area.
Yeah.
Daniel's pipeline board.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned Shay, because he's kind of a legend of his own. How's it feel to kind of be under his wing and kind of be working with him, his boards, but also have that as him as a mentor?
But yeah, I've known Shay for so long, since I was super, super young. So it's definitely I'm definitely very grateful that I have him, because I definitely wouldn't be the surfer I am today without him. Right. So just having him in my corner is 10 times easier for me. Just he's like a second dad, not just out of the water, but in the water too. Just makes me feel, when I'm out there and I'm uncomfortable, I can really look and turn and Shay and be like, oh, I'm so much more comfortable now. And just giving me the backup confidence. Yeah. For heats too, just having him there and having his presence there and his input, it's such an ease and a cool down for me. But sometimes it's not even about, strategy or anything. It's just literally having him there for, you know, mentally for me. So that's definitely a big aspect of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is there anyone, you know, male or female, that you look up to and kind of want to surf like, or you really, you know, try to be like?
Yeah,
if you're
definitely,
surfing?
definitely. I have a really good connection with Lisa Anderson, and she's definitely a really big inspo for me. Just her style and technique, everything is definitely a main goal for me and inspiration for me. Caroline, obviously, I haven't really surfed with her, but yeah, in the water and everything, we're pretty good. We're friends and stuff like that. So she's definitely a pretty good icon. But I really like Steph too. I mean, her style is just impeccable. So
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, those are some big names for sure, but it's nice to have people like Caroline from here to kind of compare yourself to. And you mentioned, you know, surfing here is often, even outside of heats, it's like surfing in a competition. Everyone's kind of pushing each other. Do you attribute that to some of your success, kind of always having to be on in the water?
yeah, I think so. Definitely having a big group of friends, a close knit of friends too, definitely helps a lot because I'm usually never surfing by myself unless I'm back at home. So, but I always have friends surfing out in the water, and like for me, free surfing is definitely a huge joy for me, and I surf for just the enjoyment of it. But then also having my friends help push me too, because you know I don't want to go out. Everyone has bad sessions and good sessions, but just mentally comparing yourself to everyone, I want to be pushing myself and be at the top. So a healthy competition, especially with my friends, is we always do that. We're starting little heats, so they definitely not only are there for me, but help push me too. So
It's definitely working for you. And then, you know, other than the training, other than, you know, surfing every time you can, is there anything you do to stay mentally in the game and, you know, really focused, especially right now when you may not be competing all the time?
For sure. Talking to Shea definitely is a huge thing, but also to my dad. Me and my family have a super close relationship and connection, so just talking to my parents every day about, you know, just normal things, little things, but also big things is definitely one thing that keeps me in check mentally. And just having that support back at home is super, super nice. But yeah, they're definitely a rock for me, and when I'm at ground zero, I know that people are there for me. So.
You know, you were involved in a situation with some people maybe saying some things to you that you didn't like, or you know, talking down, and you know, what do you say to someone else going through that you know is dealing with that? You know, how would you tell them to respond to that and deal with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone goes through it at some point in their life, whether it's school, whether it's with your sport, whether it's with online, social media. I definitely had it in person and on social media, so I mean, I definitely went through it kind of rough, and it definitely affected me. So I'd say just give yourself time to heal and think about it, and give yourself that time to, you know, realize and be like, okay, I'm broken right now, but I can't be broken forever. So that's what I did. I definitely took about it. I talked with my family a lot about it, how I was uncomfortable, you know, just telling them like how I was feeling. So definitely telling people how you feel, close people how you feel, and then realizing it and saying, okay, I'm not this and I'm more than this. So just definitely like don't drag yourself down so much, because that's one mistake I definitely did, and it still affects me today. It's like by it, but just having people just to express how I'm feeling, not keeping it all in, is definitely a huge part of it. So.
Yeah, and it seems like you came out the other side of it. And do you feel like going through that, you know, looking back has made you stronger, and at least mentally a little bit stronger, having to go through that and then come out the other side?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely made me a lot stronger mentally too. At first, I felt like I was at rock bottom. Literally, just my confidence went from here all the way down here. You know, just looking at myself, and then that affected my surfing too for the first couple of weeks. So, but after that, I think once I realized, you know, what they're saying, this is not me and this is not true, and just realizing, like, you know, that I'm separating myself from these people, and that this is not who I want to surround myself with, and these are like not my friends. I think it definitely made me a better person, because then I realized my knit and my close circle, and then just my self-worth and self-confidence. So it definitely made me stronger, and just hearing those things too, it changes you, but it like definitely stiffens you too. So.
And do you feel like being out in the water is a way for you to, you know, separate yourself from that and maybe leave that stuff on shore?
Yeah, for sure. You know, even even out in the water, it was difficult at first, but you know, since we're all surfers and stuff like that, so it's definitely intimidating at first, even when you're, you know, the one being attacked or drained on. I felt intimidated for some reason, but out in the water, I could totally forget about it. Just like focus on, you know, having fun, and like that's surfing is my therapy basically, is like my happy spot and where I get my joy from. So I think it also gave me determination too, just to go out and prove certain people wrong. Just about, you know, how I look, what I'm doing, my accomplishments. So it definitely almost like lit a fire a little bit. So, but just lighting a fire, but then also just going out to like have fun and realizing, you know, this is my priority, but you know, competition's one part of it, but I started surfing for the fun of it. And like, so, and a lot of people, I feel like don't have that anymore. So just to realize that like, hey, I'm surfing to have fun, and then competition's just a bonus. I love competing, but just to realize, you know, especially now since there's downtime, just going out to have fun, I think is definitely helped me this year a lot. So.
Is there anywhere that sticks out to you as just that place where, you know, you want to go back as many times as you can, a spot or an area even that's just number one for you?
I go to Puerto Rico a lot. Just the people there, I have so many friends there, and just the wave is always on point, it's always there. I know there's always going to be waves there. I went to Hawaii. That was pretty nice. It definitely pushes you, but Puerto Rico is definitely one place that I can call a second home, so I love that place.
I know with everything going on, you've still kind of kept up with traveling and everything like that, and been going, and I know you went to Waco. How was that experience? How was that different from, you know, being in the ocean to going to, you know, a pool?
It was really different, actually. I had went before, like when it first came out, so before like the whole water change and before everything, like the wave actually changed. And then I went back a month or two ago, but it was so fun. And I was actually really nervous at first because I hadn't been in a pool in a little bit, and the only pool other than Waco I'd been to was Kelly's, and they're like total opposites, even though they're in the pool. But I had so much fun, and just like having that consistency of the same wave and knowing that, hey, I can try this over and over again and get it, and I'm not missing anything because it's the same wave over and over again. But I think it's a great training spot too, just to try new things, because you're always going to have it there. And it's just fun to be out and around there. And the place is so sick too. So.
For sure. I've heard it's cool. I haven't gone yet.
It's so good. Like it's so much. It's really good now. So.
That's awesome. So do you see these pools as becoming a competition tool, maybe, like working on something specific, knowing the exact wave you're going to get? Do you think that's going to be helpful?
I think so, yeah, because you're provided the section, whatever, you know, maneuver you're working on or whatever task you're working on, you know you have the section there, and it's not like this wave was bad or this wave was a lot better. Because I know for me personally, if I'm going out and trying like a reverse or something, and I have a really good wave and then I do a reverse and I fall, I'm kind of mad after because I wasted a good wave, but I'm trying something new. But I think definitely the pool, just that consistency over and over again and just learning how to do it there can really help, and it isn't so frustrating. But and it's just fast too, so I think it's definitely going to be able to work, and it's definitely like a major thing that can help. So
yeah, for sure. And I know things have definitely slowed down competition-wise, you know, for all of us. And but are there any competitions, any trips coming up for you that you're super stoked about in the, you know, near future?
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything planned right now. I just got back from California, for a month and a half, which is really fun. No competitions though, obviously, but yeah, my whole competition this year was supposed to be crazy, so it definitely slowed down, which is not prepared, but it's nice. I think I might go back to Waco in October. I'm not sure though. We might be planning a couple trips, but I'm just glad to be home right now. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think you're doing the right things and being home and surfing. Hopefully we get some swell to be able to surf in the meantime. All right, so Zoe, everyone's wondering, barrels or maneuvers?
I do more maneuvers than maneuvers.
Okay, for sure. Do you prefer to surf in the ocean or the pools?
Definitely ocean, for sure.
And if you're in the ocean, reef break or beach break?
Beach break, I surf more, and I grew up on. Reef break can definitely be more fun. And I prefer that over beach break when it's crazy. So.
Okay, for sure. And then white rice or brown rice?
I eat more brown rice. I can eat that like just straight brown rice. White rice is like, so.
Okay, and everyone's wondering, Galactica or Space Invaders?
I have no idea what that is, but.
All right, Zoe, well, thanks so much for sitting down with us and dealing with some of our silly questions.
It was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, that's it, guys, for episode 6 of Swellosophy by Pipeline TV. Again, we're at Jimmy Hula's in Port Orange. If there's anything that y'all want to see, anybody specific, any products, or if you want to sponsor the show, hit us up at the emails, pipelinetv@gmail.com, swellosophy@gmail.com, or brockburgner@gmail.com. Catch us next time for episode 7.